Big game coming up here Saturday. I tell you what, of course, I'm just a fan and a broadcaster, but I love these early season tilts in college football. And we've got one coming up here for you Saturday. We are going to be at Grove City College following the Mount Union Purple Raiders as they get ready to take on the Wolverines of Grove City College. We are pleased to bring in to the show head football coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union. That is Coach Geoff Dartt. Coach Dartt, good afternoon. How you doing this afternoon?
Sorry, did I miss you?
There we go. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having
We're
me.
rocking. Hey, you got it. We appreciate. There you are. Oh, look at you. You got your pullover on. You're all business, ready to go. I love it. All right, Coach. Let's before we look ahead to Saturday, we got to take a peek back to Wheaton. And I don't know what you guys do offensively as far as I know a lot of coaches and teams will chart plays. They will script the first 10 or 15 or whatever offensively. I don't know what was in the sauce, but it was really working well for you. How happy were you with the execution early on with your offense and Mikey running the show on Saturday?
Yeah, very, very excited about, how that went down. Junior Collins is our new offensive coordinator. I thought he did a great job putting his call sheet together. We're always collaborating on the offensive side of the ball. We felt we had a really good plan, and, Mikey was absolutely running the show early. Offensive line had some great protection early to allow Mikey to deliver the ball accurately. And then, we had some opportunities to run the ball. Would like to see those be executed a little bit better, but nonetheless, the first half was very, very good.
Yeah, I really like the way that the Darnell and Sean Thomas, when he got some carries, of course, Darnell, the graduate, and of course, Sean, a senior for you. And then I'm looking down at the two deeps. I think it was Friday night, late after my high school game, getting ready for Saturday. And I thought, oh man, we got Gio's back, Mason is back, Mitch Coffey's a junior now, and you've added a couple of guys to that offensive line. How were you feeling going in, Coach, with the interior line play as you got ready for your season opener on Saturday?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, there's a lot of playing experience there with, as you mentioned, Mason and Gio. Pat Lavelle is our starter this year. He actually started a game when he was a freshman in 2023. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL that year, and then kind of battled getting back to normalcy for him last year, but had a great spring. And so he's leading the way there at center. And then, Mason was over at right guard, Fortner, and our two tackles, Mitch Coffey and Fred Favre. They had a great camp. We're excited about how they played on Saturday and looking forward to the game this weekend.
Geoff Dartt is our head coach. Well, he is our head coach and the head coach of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. I got you coaching us too, Coach. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Grove City over at their place. We'll be there, 1310 WDPN. Also, I thought I thought the campus was alive on Saturday. The atmosphere in the stadium, the student section was, I know you probably had some butterflies, of course, and so did the guys, but what a great way to kick off the season. That's how college football is supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we appreciate obviously our student body so much and the other, staff and faculty members that attend our games, but the Alliance community also. We do have a lot of support. We appreciate them. And then, not to forget, the families of our players and our coaches, them as well.
Coach, with the success that the program has had over the decades of going back to Coach Wable and Coach Larry and Coach Vince and now yourself, and what a role and what a tradition it has been set. And, I love the hashtag champion, the standard. I just think I think it's one of the classic hashtags in all of sports. And I'm constantly reminded of that when I look at it on social media. And I try to put myself in the shoes of you and the kids in the Mount Union program and what it has become over the decades. As a former player and a coach, how proud are you as you sit here today in September of 2025 with what has evolved on that campus?
Yeah, so proud. More proud that I was a player here, and I was fortunate enough to have the coaches, develop me in so many ways. And my hope now is that myself and the coaching staff are doing the same thing for the young men that we have on our team. But yeah, when you mentioned decades, Mount Union won the first OAC championship in 1985. So that's 40 seasons played, ending in 24, but 35 OAC championships then. And it's kind of crazy, but only 35 losses since then too. So I think overall the record was 494, 35-3 over the last 40 years at Mount Union, which I just that's unmatched. And
Yes.
When you talk about it at the end of the day, it's due to the people that choose to come play here, come coach here, and they want to be different and they want to be held to high standards and expectations.
Those are like video game numbers, Coach. But in Alliance City, Mount Union, they are a reality, and there is this high expectation every year. And I know you wouldn't want it any other way, and I think the players probably feel the same way too, don't they?
Absolutely, yes.
Let's talk about, you mentioned 1985, and we'll fast forward to 2025, and you've been able to watch things grow. How different was it in 1985 as a player for Mount as it is now as a coach for the Raiders all these years later?
Yeah, well, I mean, 1985 was Ken Wable's last year. I think I was about 2 years old during that time. But no, I think it's obviously the campus has grown so much. Obviously Larry Karras became the head coach the following year, and he rode some of that success from 1985 when they won the OAC championship, the first trip to the playoffs. And I think that just generated a lot of interest among young men in Ohio, and then eventually the surrounding states as, recruiting became a bigger thing. And people are attracted to Mount Union because they want to be a part of something that's special. And then they want to be developed into the best versions of themselves. So hopefully we're continuing to do that. That is our plan. And our plan as a staff is to continue to execute that.
As we get ready for the trip over to Grove City on Saturday, I know in on-off years for you guys, some years you've opened on the road. If that was going to be the non-conference, sometimes you've been at home. Now you've got two non-conference games now because of the new shakeup with the league and one less team. But as far as getting ready for travel, you got your home opener out of the way. How do you usually like to approach the first travel game, especially out of the conference when you get ready to go?
Yeah, we don't really want to change anything in terms of what we're doing. Obviously, we have to handle the trip, right? Being on time for that, understanding, where we're going, what we're going to do when we get there. We got a pretty veteran group in terms of our leadership, so they lead the way in terms of that. And from what I understand, Grove City has a fabulous game day environment. So we're excited to be a part of that. And they're a good team. They absolutely have our attention. And, I'm pretty impressed overall of what that coaching staff has done over these last few years, competing for PAC championships and then, making the playoffs. So that's something that, we take notice to, and we'll have to be ready to go because it's a very, very good football team.
No doubt. 15th ranked will be Grove City, number 2 Mount Union Saturday at 1 p.m. Coach, you had some transfers come in for you, and man, did they rock and rolled for you in the opener. Could you talk about the immediate impact of some of the fellows that are now a part of the machine, the Purple Raider football family, and how they did?
Yeah. Obviously, the two big ones on offense are Jacob Cockrell and Davion Grant. Thought they played really well on Saturday. Jacob had a lot of explosive plays, but they came in the spring, and I think that allowed them to acclimate right, to Mount Union. Also, Costa at corner.
Mm-hmm.
He transferred in from Trine. He's been a great addition as well. Not that I don't know Costa's last name, but I would, but I would butcher it. Yeah. So
Costa T, man, all day.
Yeah. So no, we're excited. And you know, I tell those guys, I was like, hey, you know, you were a Raider, you just maybe found your way a little bit later. So I think we all end up here in Alliance if we're supposed to. But yeah, we're excited about those guys and how they're only going to continue to gel as we move throughout this season.
Thrasavulu, Coach.
There you go.
Thrasavulu.
Yeah.
I cheated. I looked up on the thing on the internet there. Special teams, obviously a huge part of the football program. How did they look to you, and what do you look to improve on there? Mike doesn't get a lot of opportunities in the game to punt, but he does a terrific job. And you know, your place kicker and your kickoff team, how'd they do for you?
Yeah, they did good. Obviously, we're explosive in special teams. We got a lot of speed out there. Mike is a veteran guy. You know, I actually recruited Mike out of Sandusky High School, where his dad was the head coach, and he played quarterback for them. So, you know, very athletic. You can only see his, you know, maturity level over these last few years. He's just so comfortable back there, and, you know, had some great punts that pinned Wheaton deep. And, you know, when you do that consistently and you force a team to, you know, drive on our defense, you know, more than 80 yards, I think we're going to benefit from that. So, you know, some things that came up on special teams that we weren't, you know, in love with, but they were correctable things. And I think overall that's what you want out of a first game. And, you know, the coach speak is, you know, the most development is going to be between that first and second game. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's the case this Saturday when we head over to Grove City.
Coach Geoff Dartt is with us from the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union. You talked about the growth between week 1 and week 2. Here we are. We sit here on a Wednesday halfway through. How has the practice week been so far for you and the guys?
Yeah. So we had practice 1 yesterday. Went really good. Was way better than last Tuesday's practice. So I think, you know, it's just the momentum and adjusting to a new team. That was a little like, you know, the first week is always like that. You hate to say that, but I think you also have to be realistic with it. But the guys attacked Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday last week, and we're getting ready to head out here in about 13 minutes. And then we'll attack Thursday and Friday as well. So we got some great leaders. Our 3 captains, Caleb Brown, Jerry Cooper, and Gio Kennedy, they don't let the guys slip up too much. So we want to practice with intent. We want to be in the film room with intent. That leads to great communication and execution.
Coach, I promise we'll have you out of here in 2 minutes and 45 seconds so you can get out there and get ready to roll. And I appreciate you coming on today. And hopefully we can get you throughout the regular season and keep folks up to date with Mount Union football and what they're doing and how they're doing it. I wanted to ask you a couple more quick ones, one about Mount and one kind of out of the box a little bit. But sure. If you could talk about your staff, it is purple through and through, is it not?
It is, yeah. So the 10 guys that are here every day, full time, yes, we are all former Mount Union football players. I think that's special, but kind of like I mentioned before, we're here coaching because this place did so much for us. Mm-hmm. Not only in our football development, but, you know, helping us, you know, develop from young men to men. But no, I'm excited about this staff, you know, with the addition of Marcus Jackson, who was a captain for us last year. And then Lou Berry, which I think everyone, if you're a Mount Union fan and you don't know who Lou Berry is, then something's wrong with you. But yeah, I mean, and it's a great blend. You know, some of us were teammates, you know, some of us older coaches, you know, we're able to recruit and then coach some of these guys. So it's awesome to see the younger guys kind of coming into a new role and developing as coaches and interacting with our players now. And then obviously our veteran coach, Coach Montgomery, keeps us all in line too. So.
Coach has been there for a while. Coach, before we let you go, I'm trying to do the math now. You said a couple of minutes ago that you would have been, you said 2 years old in 1985, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I would have turned 2 in December at the end of that season. So maybe right after they played in the playoffs.
All right, so we'll skip ahead to 10 years, 1995. You would have been around 12. That's the reason I bring this up is this is the 30th year anniversary of the Cleveland Browns moving to Baltimore. And I don't know if you were or are a big Browns fan, but if you were 10, 11, 12 years old back then, how did that hit you? How did you feel about that?
I definitely remember it happening. I was never a huge – I didn't really have an NFL team that I cheer for. I mean, obviously I watched NFL football and all sports growing up, but I do remember it happening. I remember them showing the moving trucks, pulling away and all that stuff. I guess at that point, maybe I really didn't understand truly what was happening, but I do remember it, no doubt.
Yeah, I was just checking because I'm a bitter old man, Coach. I'm still mad about it. It's been 30 years, but I'm going to have to get over it at some point. Well, I appreciate you coming on today. I love talking ball with you. Safe travels over to Grove City. It is going to be an incredible environment. What D3 college football is all about. We wish you nothing but the best, and we'll see you over in PA on Saturday, okay?
All right, thanks. Go Raiders.
You got it. There he goes, Geoff Dartt, head football coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union, spending some time with us today.